Hello everyone and welcome to another Facebook Live. My name is Anita Masiero and I'm an independent Stampin' Up demonstrator in Horsham, Victoria, Australia. So if you're watching me live on Facebook, you will see the live button up there in red. Otherwise you're watching the replay, and because Facebook do not keep the live videos for more than 30 days, I also have it on YouTube. So if you're watching on YouTube, please hit the like button and subscribe, because I would love to have that from all of you. So that would be wonderful. But to make sure I've got my sound off on my video, because I don't want it being there. So anyway, say hi if you are out there. I would love to hear from you. It is freezing today. It's threatening to rain, which I'm not surprised. It'd be nice to see the rain, but it is so cold. And my husband, who doesn't feel the cold, is complaining about, hello, Leslie, how are you today? Is it warm where you are or cool? Because it is not very warm here at all. So it's been one of those days. I don't know if anyone watches Postcards on Channel 9. This is in Australia. They had a lovely one last night featuring my area, which is the Wimmera and Grampians. And I would love you to go and watch that, because you will see what's on. It features the golf course where my husband plays all the time. It features our beautiful Grampians and some solo art around the various towns. And there's and some wineries. Maybe that's the best part of all the wineries. So yeah, go and have a look at it. It is absolutely lovely. Oh, 4 days of constant rain. Oh, yuck. That's not much fun. I'd be over that if it was me. It's funny, we've never had a dryer until earlier this year, when I had to replace the washing machine. And so they had a special on a bundle, and we thought, oh, well, we'll buy it, you know. But I've done without it for all these years. But I've used it more than I've realised at the moment, because I hated it when I had washing drying in front of the heater. So I don't have that anymore, which is wonderful. So anyway, today I'm going to do something different with the Moonlit Flora Suite, but I'm actually using the Fern Flora Bundle, which is the stamps and dies, and mainly using the dies. So it's a different look to what is shown in the catalogue, and I think you might. I think you'll like it, because it's an alternate way of looking at something, and it's something we all need to do with stamp sets. We get bogged down with seeing what has been done by the concept artists and then thinking, hello, Miss K, how are you? So yeah, we don't want to get bogged down with what is shown on our screen and in our catalogues. We want to look at something that's completely different, and I'm hoping that what I do today is going to give you something different, because I think it's different, so we won't do that. So what I'll probably do is pop the camera down, because there's a lot to talk about, because we are about to start a new month, and usually when there's a new month, there's a lot of exciting things happening. So just bear with me for a sec as I pop it down. Get it nicely, properly large. I think I've got it right there. Yep, there we go. Always hard to judge when I'm doing that. Hi, Cherry. Yes, look, I understand. That's okay. You have to be with Rob, and you enjoy that. I hope you'll enjoy the replay. Nice of you to pop in for a minute. Paper pumpkin. It has certainly taken off in Australia. America have had it for a long time. You've heard me talk about that. So it is something that is really, really wonderful. For $48 a month, you'll get a kit sent to you every month. There's 4 ways to subscribe. Is that you can pay as you go, which means that each month they will automatically deduct from your nominated account your $48 and send you your kit. Or you can pay 3 months, 6 months or 12 months in advance. So what that means is you just get 3 months, and at the end of that 3 months you stop getting it, or 6 months or 12 months, whichever way it goes. Hello Glenda, welcome. Yeah, so it's something different, and I'm certainly have been very pleased with it. I was very unsure at first, but now that it's come out, I'm actually loving it. So for the month of July, we will be receiving Hooray for Birthdays, and this is just a snapshot of what's to come, and they look like fun folds, such as easel cards and lots of die cut pieces, so it should be a lot of fun. So that's for July. And if you haven't, hi Jacinta, welcome, day off or lunch break. Yeah, so you will get that for July, but if you're going to subscribe, you must do it before July 10. After July 10, you've missed out. So that's how that one works, or all of them work. So it's the 10th of every month you must subscribe. After that, you miss out. You are on lunch. I thought you might be. Then we've got for August. I love that background. Looks like I could do a lot of fun with that. And then for September, we've got a nice autumnal one, which I think will be a lot of fun. But we also have, for subscribers, you can purchase dies that will go with the kits. Every 3 months they bring out a set of dies that goes with the kit. And have a look, aren't they gorgeous? So you've got 2 leaves there, two flowers and 2 centres. So, you know, so one pass in the in your die cutting machine. You've got a beautiful leaf and you've got a circle. So it's a great way that if you don't have these things, you'll get something as well. They are an add-on. You do pay extra for them. You can purchase, the word's you can purchase a, it's gone, a supplement to the kit. So if you like a kit and you want more, you can go and purchase. That's what I'm trying to say. And the word has gone out of my head completely. So it's a lot of fun. So if you want to make more of a particular card, so you'll have 9 cards to make in each of these. Well, there's 10 cards in this one, so that'll be interesting. So you've got cards to make. So if you like it, like for instance, birthdays, if you're short on birthdays, you can purchase the add-on kit to make it more. So that's what you can do. When you subscribe, your very first subscription, you will receive a block, not one of these, but a block that size, a D block. You'll receive that with your very first kit. Oh, you just got an add-on too. Yeah, they're really cute. And these are absolutely lovely. So I've ordered them. They're waiting to come. So I just think those flowers and leaves you could do so much with. I mean, even if you didn't have any other dies, this is a great little set to get you going. So it's well worth subscribing to Paper Pumpkin. You're talking to the converted, you know, like I was a bit on the fence at first, but then decided, yeah, no, I'll get it. Our product of the month for June sold out very, very quickly. So if you are interested in the product of the month when it comes out, please grab it early. So the product of the month, you need to purchase $125 worth of products, whatever you like, whatever your order would be. And when you order, in your cart, you'll see a bar across the very top that moves across, and it'll have product of the month. When you've reached $125, that's before Shut up, Kay. Private joke there. It will tell you when you've reached it. If you're taking some of your Stampin' Rewards off, it won't be $125. It has to be after you've taken all those, so that you're about to go and hit checkout. The $125 is available, and it'll have a shop now button, so you can purchase this for $9. So here's a sneak peek of our next one, which is a beautiful begonia. They look like roses more than begonias to me, but if I bring that up a little bit closer, you can see what I mean. See, to me that looks more like a rose than a begonia, but the leaves do definitely remind me of begonias. So, so that's next month's, and I think that this product of the month has been something that, like, we only got it. It started in December. It was very new. No one was sure about it, but certainly this month, admittedly, it was a very cute set. It just gone right across all markets. So it was really wonderful to see, and that was the idea of it, that only a limited number would be made, and once they're gone for good. So this is another nice one that you can think about, and for $9, I think that's a marvellous price. Then we have our July online exclusives starting on the 1st of July, and there are 3 suites and 11 bundles in this, and our snips are back, which is fabulous, except they're now called detailed scissors. Before they were the snips. So there's the new one, there's the old one. Practically identical. Yeah, which one do you like? Jacinta likes the Wild Bunch, yes. And Glenda, are you talking of the one that's going to come out or the one that we just had? Because either, they were both beautiful. So scissors are available. I've just found out that they will be around. So I'm going to get some more. That's why I'm keeping my old ones, because some of them have been a little bit damaged. I don't know by who, not me, because I don't let them out of my craft room. Someone does sneak in here and get them. Anyway, so that's what that is. We've got a Christmassy one in here. We've got some great things. There's some Christmas ideas, some Halloween. So all good to start thinking about in July. If you're not on my mailing list and you'd like a copy of this, please let me know. You love the June one. Yeah, it is nice, Jacinta. I mean, I've made so many cards and I've got a whole heap of critters ready to make some more. Okay, the last thing I've to talk about is that Stampin' Up have a craft class. They have them quite regular. Oh, you like the new one, Glenda? Well, I do too. So I think they're both going to be great. This time they're doing the Pretty Poinsettia, which is this stamp set, which is available on the 1st of June in our online store. Doing a craft class with Stampin' Up is a great way of learning about the concept artists' ideas, ways of that they see the cards to be done, what they have envisaged when they've made the products. I think it's wonderful. Unfortunately, it's very early in Australia. I'm an early riser, so 6 o'clock didn't bother me at all. I'm usually awake between 5 and 6 anyway. So when you pay for the class, which is $53, you then purchase your kit, your stamp set, or if you haven't already got it, but hasn't been released, it would all happen on the 1st of July. So then on the 17th of July, they will be doing this set. And there'll be Christmas cards in it, because it's very Christmassy, and I think you will see some ideas of seeing it differently as well. And so, yeah, so $53 for the class, $88 for this bundle. And I think that this set lends itself open to a lot of different ideas. And look at this cute stamp. Create a plaid look on the back. You've got some really nice sentiments there, and I just think it's a great way to get started. Looking at the dies, the poinsettia from there, you've got the leaves, and you've got these. So those there, and that must be the little centres. So they're the stamped images, but look at all the other pieces that you get that you can make with your card. So it is great that I think this is something. So please, if you're interested in that and want to know more, just contact me. I've done a couple, 3 or 4 of them now. And yeah, I'm enjoying it because it's fun to be part of and to learn about the product in advance. Okay, we are done. So, in the catalogue. So today, just move this. Today we're going to use this collection, or some of this collection. So I've got the stamp set, the dies, and the beautiful Fern Flora embossing folder. So that's what we're using today. So I'm just going to move this out of the way so we can have fun. So what I've gone and done is I've done a card base, 21 centimetres by 14.9, and I have scored that at 10.5. So we'll just fold and grab our bone folder, and we will give that a nice burnish to help the card to stay flat. So I've then gone and embossed a piece of Barely Blush. It's a beautiful colour. When I do embossing, especially if it's a 3D detailed one, it does shrink a little bit. So always make it a little bit larger. So I've kept the little piece that I have taken off. Now I use a guillotine to trim it because our trimmer can make it a little bit hard. So when I say guillotine, using something like this, it's just going to give it a good, sharp, clean cut. Oh, sorry about that. So I've kept that piece because we can use that on the inside. How I'm going to use it, I don't know. So I've just left it there. So this is the cardstock. So how pretty is that design? Like, it is just gorgeous. So I've got some scraps of paper here, of some white, and I'm going to do a couple of things. I'll do this piece first. So I'm going to get my embossing buddy. And little Annie has disappeared. Annie was getting so thin, she's probably floated away somewhere, and I don't know where she's gone. So I've got a nice plump penny. That's the name I'm going to give this one. Penny. Plump penny. Okay, so on this block, I have the... I have got this flower and this butterfly. So I want to emboss those on the white. So I put it back. I'm looking for my embossing, my Versamark, but I had already put it away. How quick and smart's that? So yeah, sometimes you can, look at this. Where do we find these sort of things? Hello, Kerry, and welcome. We're just starting. I'm using the Fern and Flora bundle today. So I'm going to stamp these two and emboss them in white. So don't forget, when you're using your photopolymer, grab your piercing mat, because it's important that you use that to get a good coverage. So I'm just going to emboss these in white. Got that nicely done. even though I use this and I don't use any other colour in this container but this, you'd be surprised at the little bits of fragments from cardstock that I've got on here, because I love black on white, so that's where that goes. Right, we're going to get the heat gun now, and we're just going to emboss these. I like to emboss from the bottom because it doesn't blow the powder away. I like to have that little bit of extra bit, and look, there's that magic starting to happen. It's gone from a dull to a light. And we're just... Okay, I'll let that dry for a bit before I do anything further. So the other things that I have done is I'm into crisp cantaloupe. Now, I would have used the Barely Blush, but I didn't like... It's very, very soft, and it didn't quite work for me for what I wanted. So I'm going to use the crisp cantaloupe, and I've taken the label. I love this little label. So I'm just going to pop that down there. And just going to sit this on my chamois ready for cleaning. And then I'm taking my wording, and I've got Thankful for You from the stamp set. Ink that up. And then I'm just going to line that up, and I hope my head doesn't fall over the camera. I'm going to try not to. So I might. So there we go. Thankful for You. So that's one of the stamps that I'm doing. So we'll put that away. And then I'm going to get the Peaceful Pine. And the Peaceful Pine, I've got this stamp, which is a fern. And I'm going to stamp off. So make sure you've got it well inked. And the beauty of photopolymer is you can have a look and see if the ink is definitely on your stamp. So I'm going to stamp off and then stamp on here. Well, that was lucky because it wobbled on me. So I've just got a softer looking colour. Pop that over there. I'll put this away. So that's the stamping. And then all this gets die cut. Now, before I die cut, I'm going to take this, and I'm going to get my Golden Glow and my blender brush. I'm just going to get a little bit of ink, cap off excess, and I'm just going to colour around the butterfly. Just pick up the colour. You can have it as dark or as light as you want. You can have pieces that are not done. That one will be fine. Then I'm going to grab the Barely Blush. Let's move that over there. And I'm going to pop some Barely Blush onto the flower part. So I'm going to colour about 3/4 of the way. So again, I'm just going to go around, make it as dark or as light. And this Barely Blush will go much lighter as it dries. Yeah, that'll be fine. Don't have to be particular about it. And then I've got some Hydrangea Hue, and I reckon I might have enough on my brush because it does last. So I just want a very soft, oh yes I have, just very soft around the bottom half. Just like so. And by doing this as well, I'm getting rid of the white from when you die cut. So there's what I've done. So how pretty is that? Just doing it like that. So I'll leave them there, but I've die cut to show you what to do. So if I get these pieces, tip them upside down. So there it is when it's die cut. So you can see how the pink's gone quite light, even the blue's gone light, and it just does not leave a white edge on the outside of the die. So there's my label. So I've got the label. And there's the other fern, nice and light. Then I've gone and done two-tone cardstock. How good is that stuff? I don't know about anybody else, but it took me a little while to get on the bandwagon, but now I'm on it. I love it. Just move them out of the way. So I've got light two-tone peaceful pine, and I've done one of the big ferns. I've got the light Hydrangea Hue, and I've done this coil fern. I have no idea of the name. And then I've got this particular fern. I'd love to know the names of them. I wish they'd put them on there so we know. So I've done that. I've also done crisp cantaloupe in the light in that coil fern. Then I've done what I'm pretty sure is the maidenhair fern in white. And then I've got 3 of these stems in the light peaceful pine. You like that tip, do you, Glenda? Oh, I'm glad. And then I've got some flowers here. And I have done these ones already. So you can see one is pink and the others are white. So I'll pop them over here. And I'll just move this because I've got them sitting here on my sheet because I want you to see how they're done. I've got my silicone mat here. Now I want one of these flowers to be pink. So I'm going to, now this is how they are in the die when you get the die. The die is small, but it gives you 3 flowers. So this one and this one belong together. This one and this one belong together. And then these 2 belong together. So how good's that? So it's giving you 3 different ones. So I've already got, I only want 2 pink ones, so I've got the half one. So I'm just going to use my brush with whatever's left on the brush. Just colour it. And that's the beauty when you colour it in white. You colour that in white. You can colour it. You can add shading. You can use a blend to create it. I'm going to be using my Take Your Pick tool, which I think is the best tool out. Absolutely love it. So I'm going to just put a little dot of glue down in the middle, and I'll pick this the one that looks smaller, and then just in the middle of that there as well. So I'm going to take this one. Not that way. I want it the other way. Thank you. And then we place that very carefully down like so. Now, if you didn't know how to use these, it's confusing because it took me a while to work it all out. Now, before I glue this one, I've got this. Look, I should zoom in a little bit so you can see. Remind me to zoom out. So if I just see if I can get it just. Is it going to do it for me? No, I'll just come down a bit so you can see. There we go. I hope that's easy for people to see. So you'll see this one, which is a half crescent one. So I don't know if this is right, but this is how I do it. I pop it in, and then there's still a bit of glue there, and I then pop that over the top, like so. I'll let that sit there to dry. Now I'm just going to take a little dot of glue, and I mean little. Just a tiny bit, and then use these starry centres in the middle. Pop them in, and there's my flowers. So once you know what they are, they're quite easy, but it could be confusing if you didn't know. So I'll let them sit over here, not my glue. So I'll let them dry. And I might just pop them out of the way so I don't bump them or do anything stupid, which I'm liable to do. Right. So what I'm going to do now is I'm going to arrange. Oh no, I've forgotten one thing. Oh, Where did my circle go? There it is, on the mat. I want to stamp on my, I've cut a circle out in Golden Glow cardstock. And I'm going to grab the background, which is this, it's just stripes, rows of stripes. And I want to put that on the background. So I'm going to get, and when I stamp this, it's only going to be in 1/2. It's just to add some texture to the background of this circle. Ink this up, and I might do a couple of rows because stamp it like so, and stamp it again, and I'll pop some so that it covers the whole half of the cardstock. Right, bring in the white again, and I'm going to grab my tweezers so I don't make a mess. I wish they would sell some reverse tweezers on their own. I got some ones and I went to use them and it wouldn't even hold the paper. They didn't close fine enough. There we go, look at that. That's looking really well. So, tip that in there. And grab my glue gun once again. It shouldn't take long because it's already heated up. I really like this background stamp because I think it's something that we can use for quite a number of things. Just come around. Make sure I've got it all. There we go. Nicely done. And that can cool off for a bit. Okay. Now, this is the card just about complete, really. So now what I'm going to do is I'm going to lay the pieces. So I know that I want this slightly sticking up because when I'm going to put this on the card, I might as well put it on the card. I'm going to put it on a bit of an angle. So this has been cut down to 9.5 by 13.9. So I just want that on a little bit of an angle on the card, just like so. Doesn't have to be big. Well, before I do that, gee, I should write myself a little list of instructions of how each step is doing, because then I suddenly remember, oh, I've got to do that, I've got to do that. So I'm going to take some tear and tape and I'm going to put a piece on the back. And normally I don't go all the way around, but because of what I want to do with this particular one, I need to go all the way around. So I'm just going to take that. It's about halfway. Just let that sit on there, nice and firm. And then I'm going to come up this side, then come across straight, down to this side, come across to the middle, and come across to that side. And as you can see, I gave myself plenty of tape and plenty of room. So I'll just make sure that that's in place. And I'm going to pop a bit of that there and trim off that because I don't need that there. And then I'm just going to put, till I'm ready to glue that down, I'm just putting that there so I don't stick it to my glass mat. So there you go. You can see it's just given it a little bit of texture and a little bit of room. Move everything out of the way. Now, third time lucky. Now we're going to do the bits. I'll just come up a little bit more because the camera was just in my eye line. Right, so I want to do this. As I said, this is going to go like so. So I'm just looking at how I want these to go. So I'm just going to place them and work out where I want them. Put that one there. And with these soft colours, it makes a huge difference. I might just tuck that one under a bit. I might bring that around a little bit more so it's more in the middle. So who's liking the soft colours? And then down the bottom, I'm going to use one of these because, remember, this is where this is going to go. So my positioning needs to be important. So what I might do, so it's not moving while I'm trying to do things, is glue this down. And the reason I'm gluing it flat instead of using dimensionals is because I personally find dimensionals and embossed are not good friends. They seem to not work very well. Well, actually, you know what? I think if I use glue and dimensionals, it should work. Think outside the square, Anita. So I'll just put roughly where I want to put my, so I'm going to put some glue, definitely the four corners. I'll put one in around here, there, one in the middle. I'll sort of pop. So I've got a bit of glue just to pop these on. And that should help the dimensionals to stick. To the card. Just pop them in place. Should stick pretty well here. And if you notice, I'm putting it in between the twine, the baker's twine, because that way I can make sure it doesn't create a bumpy layer. Hello, Vicky. Are you on holidays? Oh, of course, it's school holidays, isn't it? I'm glad you're watching me today. So I'm just using the Fern and Flora, so something very different, and just creating, and I think I'm just putting a little bit of glue on the back of my embossed piece because embossing and dimensionals don't like each other. So I'll just very carefully lift these off because it's still a bit wet, and I'm not going to use my tape pick tool because it will just rip them off. I'm using it to lift them off. Some of them have started to dry, which makes it a little bit easier. Just make sure I've got them all. Just take that last bit off. And once again, I'm going to put a little bit of glue. I like wiggle room, and dimensionals, they don't wiggle. And I don't know about anybody else. How many times have you put something down only to find that it's stuck and you try to lift it and it tears? So just put a little bit of glue. Just like so. Grab my white card base and just going to sit that like so. in place on the angle. And by being on an angle, it draws your eye a little bit rather than being very regimental. Now we will try again. So I'm going to put one glue dot, one dimensional in the middle of this, because this will help me. And I'm just very lightly putting it where the ribbon is, or the twine, because what that's doing, it's not going to stick to that. It's going to hold it for me, and it just allows me to work with what I want to do. So I'm going to take this, and I want this one. I'll have a look how it's going to sit. I'll just sit this one like so. I'll come down this side of the... The beauty with these, you can sort of give it movement by just gently manipulating it when you glue it down. So I'm going to pop this, pop that in place like so. That's going to sit in here. Maybe come round a little bit. This little one's going to come sitting out here. I'm going to have this little one sitting here, and this lovely one which saves you the white, just going to pop in here, and that allows that to create that little bit of a look. And then these, I'm going to glue these so it looks like they're running on the circle. I'm going to put one each way like so. Just pop it in place so you can see. And then we'll have the butterfly up here, and then I'm going to use these two sit out like so, and so you can see what I'm doing. And then the flowers we will pop on dimensionals around here, and that will be our centerpiece. So we can put that like so in the middle. So there we go. That's what it's going to look like. So I've got a rough idea and I know exactly what I'm going to do. So we're going to gently lift that off the center. Oops, don't stick it down that way, Anita. We know what's going to happen. So grab your silicone mat. Now you can use adhesive sheets, but I didn't want to for this because I wanted to, you're liking the soft colours, Glenda, I'm glad. I wanted to give it a bit of shape, and I also wanted to give it a natural, organic, sorry, I'll use the word organic, but just so that it makes it look more natural and will give the card a bit more texture and dimension. So I'm going to sit this one. I know that this one's going to sit around the middle here. So I'm going to slide that down, pop that in. And because I put the glue at the centre, it's going to come down a little bit more. So you can see I'm already creating a bit of shape. So the fern is not straight up and down. It's got this little bend in it. So it's there, and I didn't put any glue up there because I didn't want it. So that's that. Now we're going to pop this one. So I might pop the blue first because I want that white in the middle between the two. So once again, just pop a bit of glue, and this time I'll just put it on the leaves, just a couple of dots. Leave some of the top ones free. I'll just lift that up and pop that like so. And again, you can create that little bit of movement in the leaf, because movement in the card looks really good. So again, on the maidenhair fern, I'm going to pop some, leave those top ones. I'm going to pop that stem and work that into the middle there. create that. And because we've got texture underneath, it takes a little bit to dry. So I'm just going to place this again so I know where I'm roughly going to be putting my pieces. Making sure I keep them down. Right, this one will be first because that's going to be in the middle. Pop that down, coming slightly off the bottom so that it creates that illusion of movement. And then I'm just going to put this one. I didn't do this before, but I might pop this one on dimensionals just to create a little bit of depth. Because putting dimensionals on the fine stuff is really difficult. So not putting it on there would make a big difference. So I think this on dimensionals will really help this one. Before I press it down, I'm just going to make sure that that's got the blue showing. Probably could come a little bit more this way. So like anything when you're doing flowers, it is a matter of having a play. Right. So now I'm going to just put these leaves and they're going to sit down here for the bottom. Allow that to dry. So then I might put some more dimensionals on these because I'm not tucking anything into them at the moment. So pop some more dimensionals on. Sing out of them, get off screen please ladies, because I need something to remind me that I'm within screen. For those of you who are demonstrators, and I know Kay who's here. Hello, Trish, I didn't realise you were there. Sorry, I missed you. Welcome. So for those of you who are demonstrators, may have heard about the Creative Carnival. We had so much fun last time, which was at the weekend. And, yeah, they were very lucky to be able to grab Karen Peterson, and it was great to have her on board. We got some sneak peeks. So our next one is in October. So if you're a demonstrator and you would like to be part of it, just let me know and I can send you a link to be part of that group so that you can show that you're interested. So it's early October, if I remember rightly. Right, so I'm just going to pop one of the leaves right up here at the top, and then the other one is going to come down here, and again having it coming off the card just like so. Just remember, I'm going to be adding this over the top. Right, now we're going to do our leaves. So go and get my mini dimensionals and pop on the back. I want all of these on dimensionals, just again for that added interest. So I'm going to pop one, and I reckon I'll need a second one on that one because I've got dimensionals. So remember, if you've got something already on dimensionals and it's going to sit outside of it, to have it even, pop a second dimensional. So I'm just going to pop that like so. So you can see it looks like it belongs on that height. So then we're going to put the white little one there. Just going to pop a dimensional on that. And I'm going to sit that one just here. Just on that little. So as you can see on the card, you've got these little spots here, and this is where I'm lining up my flowers. And then we're going to get another white flower. And you're sitting there thinking, now you coloured flowers. Why did you colour them? We'll see in a moment. I'm going to pop this one just in here. I want that. I want to cover that, but I want to keep that leaf showing. There we go. Got that done. Right. So I'm going to get a pink one, and I've got a few more than I need because of the way I set this up. So this little pink one. Oh, come on. Talk about being fiddly. And this one will need 2 as well because it is off the circle. So I'm just going to pop this one just down here. Create that. And then my other pink one is going to go right up here on that one. Just pop that there. That leaf. Just pop that there. And then grab the other white one, which will need 2 dimensionals to create that look. Oh, getting it stuck. So what's everybody up to for the week? Have you got plans? Pop that just there. There we go. It's got the flowers. Now we're going to stick these down. Just lift this a bit because I've just realised what I forgot to do. Should have done it first before I put the flowers down. How many of you have done that where you've put things down and then realised, oh, should have done that first? So I'm just going to run the glue just on the edge and a little bit in the centre, just like so. Probably got more glue than I need, but let's see how we go. Start here and tuck that bit in and make sure that the rest of it's sticking out of the, and just work out where I want it. I think I'll just leave it just there and then pop these down. So you see how it looks like it's just coming out of the circle? Just something a little bit different. And we'll do the same here. I think I've been a bit luckier on this one because it's the opposite way. So I want that to be about there. So if I start where I want it to be, just turn around, tuck that in, and there we go. Look at that. Then I've got the little butterfly. So I'm just going to bend the butterfly, give it a bit of movement, and just put a little dimensional behind. And we're just going to sit him up there to balance it. Then, we're nearly there. Just put a couple of dimensionals behind this. Oh, I've got dimensional backings everywhere. We want to make our card nice and solid, so we do 3. Just pop that. Lift that. That one partially covered. A little bit more. Don't want to cover this white one though. Just like so. Just going to lift that, I think. lucky the embossing's making it easier to lift. I want that more in the middle. That looks better. And then that flower can just slide to the side of it. I like that flower sitting there like that. There we go. Look at that. So now I cannot do a card. Thanks very much, Leslie. I'll put some wink on the butterfly. Make him nice and sparkly. And then, of course, anyone that watches me knows I like my wink. So we'll pop some wink over the card to create the splatter. So you can see that there. So for the inside, I thought I'd get that flower. Just take the butterfly off and just give this a clean. And I'll grab this, and I think I'll do some Peaceful Pine, but I'm going to stamp off for this one. Grab that here. And I'm going to stamp the flower off and pop that just in there. I mean, we've always got to decorate the inside of the card, don't we? We can't just leave it. Thank you. Thank you, ladies. I'm glad you like it. Now I'm going to use some Barely Blush and some Peaceful Pine. So I'm just very, very carefully just adding, not to the ends, just adding some Peaceful Pine, just giving the leaves a bit of colour, plus a little bit of glitter. So just giving it, this will dry, so it'll give a different look when it dries. Just around that flower. Just a little bit of colour. So as you can see, I'm giving the leaves a bit of white. And then I'm going to use the Peaceful Pine to colour the flowers. Just dabbing it in there. I don't want to push the blend too much because I've used a green and it could create the flower to go green. Just dabbing it in here. Don't forget the little buds. Just pop a little bit on the buds. Another one down here. So there's what I've done for the inside. It doesn't need a lot. And then we had that little strip. And I think I'm going to put that little strip along the bottom like so. Turn it around. I reckon that, look, and that'll ground that flower. So I'll just pop a little bit of glue down here. So don't throw your scraps because you can use it that way as well. Especially if you've got an embossed piece, like, don't throw it away. And then we'll just give that a trim. And voila, there is our card. How pretty is that? And if you wanted to, if you were doing one, you could add a little bit of dimension and colour to the leaves, especially if you do cut them all in white, you can create a different look. So as you can see, now that that's just settling down, you'll see that that's showing the veins through the middle, and it's just giving it that bit of pop of colour in the leaf, and it's just there. So how pretty is that? I think it's, I'm biased, I think it's perfect. I absolutely loved doing something completely different in the colour. And this was the one I did earlier. This one's a lot flatter than the other one. And I did it a little bit off here, which had 3 dimensionals underneath. And I did my flowers differently to what I did there. And that's what I haven't done. Oh dear, our butterflies. Who does not like these butterflies? I think they are amazing. They're absolutely perfect. So I've just picked some colours. I'll do a pink one, a blue one. I'll put a golden glow one up here. Right. And I'm using the larger ones, a couple of the larger ones. So I've got 3 of the large, and then I'm going to use, so I've got 1, 2, 3. So grab Peaceful Pine. Oh, I haven't got a Peaceful Pine one. Might put a little one just sitting there, and then a little Barely Blush, which look white when it's on the cardstock. And then maybe a little, what have I got? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. I think that's it. Less is more. So I've got my little butterflies on there. So there's that, the cards. Something very different. But I wanted to show you how you can use a card. Here I've used a light green two-tone cardstock. I didn't look carefully when I was getting it, and I realised when I cut these that the leaves were, well actually here I realised the leaves were different to these, and that's when I realised I used 2 totally different pieces of two-tone cardstock. So there we go, everyone. I hope you've liked what I've done today. It is something very different, and I just like the fact that you can use these coils to create an effect off a circle. And then by using, instead of tying a bow, I've just got the ribbon at the background to give it that bit of added dimension. So thank you everyone for watching me today. I hope you've enjoyed today and enjoyed the card. And I will let you all go, and you can catch me next Monday, and we'll see something new. Okay, everyone, thank you very much for watching. I really appreciate it. Catch you next time.